Welcome, everybody, to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. This is the goingboldmedia.com. You can find all of our wonderful information on there. Just go to goingboldmedia.com and check out all of our wonderful experts. We are on the Link to Expert Business Showcase. I am Cece Schatz, the Joanne of Relationship Building, and I have my good friend here with me, Joanne. Joanne, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Joanne Weiland, Weiland When You Can Fly. I founded Link to Expert back in 2010, and I'm so excited because now you can find an expert within minutes so that you can finish your projects, implement your ideas, as well as if you want to be known as an expert, you can be found around the world through all of our different things we offer on the portal. So thank you, Cece.
Yeah, and Joanne, you have open enrollment now, don't you, for memberships?
Yes, we're always looking for new members because, of course, people that need different experts, they all need different types of experts at different times, and they need them in different ways, methods. You know, some people are doing everything virtual, and then others really want you to still physically go to their location. So it all varies, but that's why we're always looking for new members, and we welcome you to come, and we would be pleased to have you as a member, but also then you can be on our show, either the business showcase or the author's corner. We have both because of the fact that most of our experts do publish books, as well as if they don't, they might want to. So that's why we just try to help you be known as the expert in as many ways as possible, whether it's on this podcast, TV, and radio shows, or blogs, articles, press releases, as well as you can sell all your passive and residual income on your online store. So we welcome you to come and be known as an expert.
That would be great. So just go to linktoexpert.com and sign up for the membership. Now, I will share with you, something that you might not know, Joanne, is I checked some of our stats for our Roku and Amazon TV just for those two outlets, and we're at 5.7 million. So
Wow.
we're really rocking, and we're so excited about that. So those of you that want the exposure, definitely, hit us up and let us know that you'd like to be on the show. We would love to have you. But let's move on to one of our great experts today. We're going to talk about Be Heard in a Noisy World with our guest, Mich Hancock, and she's the CEO of 100th Monkey. And she is a social media, digital marketing, podcast marketing, reputation management, TED Talk, Your Talk, and content creator. I tell you what, we are very lucky to have her on because she is one busy lady. Let's bring her right up. Hey, how are you?
Thanks for joining us. Several years ago, Kathy Davis had you on one of her lunch and learns. And I don't know if you remember, but I called you afterwards, maybe 3 years ago. And I said, Mich, I took 9 pages of notes. You're brilliant. And I'm serious. I have followed this woman ever since with her 100th Monkey and her podcast. And we're just so thrilled to have Mich on the show. So welcome.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. I'm looking at myself. I'm like, wait, I have hair on my hair. I don't have any hair. And yet I have hair on my, I don't know, probably from the dog. Dog's problem. Hello. That was like a squirrel moment. Sorry about that.
Oh, great having you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what is this 100th Monkey? Tell us a little bit about that.
See, that's a way fun story. And I will tell you, as a marketer, it's an awesome thing to have something that intrigues people right off the bat, because then they want to ask you a question, right? You got them. And I called my company 100th Monkey because it actually goes along with a phenomenon called the 100th Monkey phenomenon. And a group of scientists were studying this colony of monkeys on this little island in Japan. They would throw sweet potatoes out to the monkeys, and they would get sand all over them. And one of the monkeys, and I believe it was a girl monkey, that was like, this is gross. I don't like eating the sweet potato with sand. So took it over to the stream, cleaned it off. Little by little, the other monkeys are like, that's a really good idea. And they all started to take up this new habit. And the scientists said by the 100th Monkey, it was the new way of doing things. And that's how I looked at social media. I mean, one minute someone's like, I'm on Facebook. Are you on Facebook? And they're telling you about your thing. And that sounds weird. And then your grandma's on Facebook in the Bahamas, posting pictures. And you're like, oh, this is a thing. So that's where the whole idea came from.
Well, that is great.
It's brilliant. It's, and it's so true because, like Cece, you can tell about it, but that's why we're on 59 different networks. So tell us why.
Yeah, it's because we need to, years ago, everybody kept saying, well, drive them to your website. Yeah, we want to drive them to our website. Of course, we want to do that. But the reality is we got to go where they're at, right? So we can drive them to our website. And so that's what I started doing. I started putting our shows on any network that would take us. And so now we're on, I don't know, I say well over 50, we're probably well over 60 now. And we're on the Roku, Amazon TV, and we're really, like, as you heard at the beginning of the show, we're at 5.7 million just from January to now. And we started last year in April, and we hit 5 million then. So we're doing really, well. We're keeping our numbers up, and we're keeping things
and that's
going.
just 2 of the 59 networks.
Yeah, just 2. Yeah.
5 million people.
So, but I think that, like, for what you do, the social marketing, the digital marketing, creating the content, things like that. Tell us a little bit about, some of the things that maybe what we need to think about as a business person, because a lot of us are not doing some of the social marketing things that we need to do, or maybe we just don't have time to do everything. So what is the most important thing to do? Maybe you can share.
That's why I talk about being heard in a noisy world, because it is so noisy, and it feels like there's a lot of noise out there. I mean, you're getting dings all day long on your phone, and you're looking at social media, and some of it you're like, why is this even here? So that is what my company aims to do, is to help our clients to figure out how they can show up and show up well and have valuable information to post about. So we talk a lot about the anatomy of a post. A post isn't just a picture of the sunshine and happy day, woo, woo, where's that going to get you? And so when you think about a post, you want to think about, what is the copy? What is the messaging? How does my messaging sound? Am I very formal? Am I more fun and upbeat? And then what all needs to go in that post aside from copy is you're going to need a link to something, usually sending someone somewhere, a link to your website or look at your video or what have you. You want to make sure that you're using emojis these days, not crazy amounts. You don't want 27 emojis in one post, but there's so many emojis that you can use that go along. Like, you can use them like bullet points as an example, right? Hashtags are another thing that's become very important. Hashtags started with Twitter, which is now X. And it really was started from the people that were using the platform, because they wanted to figure out a way for people to follow along with a particular topic. So you're going to want to use, and you can look at any platform, get an idea of like how many people are using this hashtag, but you want to use a good combination of hashtags that a lot of people are paying attention to and hashtags that are not that, not millions, right? Because you want to just try to get a nice mix of people showing up. And then, you want to make sure. Now, I know I've had people say this to me before. Oh, nobody really worries about spelling anymore. Maybe not when you're texting a friend or something, but for your business, yeah. Grammarly might be a good idea to have on your computer so that you are making sure that, you sound professional. So there is a lot more that can go into a post than you might imagine. And of course, a visual. You have to have a visual. And, you guys have your own visuals right here on the channel that has your branding on it. It's a good idea to put some branding on your visuals as well. So that, again, you're teaching people, this is me, and this is what my brand looks like. So you can put that together.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot, right? And so I know from myself being a business owner, and doing what I do now, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to
That's why you can hire Mission and she will do it for you.
I know, and that's what I'm saying.
Posting is only one part of it, right? I mean, then there's as well the monitoring. You've got to monitor, and when we have my team, we've got people on shifts that are looking at all of our clients' pages throughout the day, because you're going to deal with trolls, you're going to deal with negative, and you're going to deal with like spam stuff that you need to get off of there. Right now, the thing that we're seeing a lot of, especially on Facebook, are messages to the pages threatening that they're going to delete or take your page down if you don't take action. And it says like Facebook business solutions, it's all fake. Facebook is not going to message your page. They are not going to message your page. If Facebook takes down your page, they're probably just going to take it down. They are not going to tell you, warn you. They're just going to do it. So we are, we're so helpful to our clients in that when we're like, hey, don't worry about this. We've got this. We've reported it. It's not for real. And then also just, talking to your audience. If they're talking to you, you want to know, social media is a two-way street. It's not just you talking, it's them talking to you. So you want to make sure you're acknowledging their comments and questions.
Right. And I think that's a key point too, about the fact that it's not just about posting things out there all the time. It's about, and I get caught in that trap because I do so many shows. So many shows come up on my, on my information. But then, and then when I share something like personal, because I have it going to my personal page too. And so when I share something personal, then I notice that people start thinking, oh, let's see what she's doing, because they're so used to seeing the normal, shows, which I know they're interested in, but when I start sharing something on my personal life, I seem to get more attraction with that and more interest in that, which is very pleasing to me, because I really do feel like in social media, I've made so many friends that I don't really even know. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a beauty of social media, is
Absolutely.
that friends all over the world that that you've been able to connect with, that it's just such a blessing. I love it. I mean, I really do love that aspect of it. I know there's some parts of it that are not quite as, that we don't like.
That's everything, right? Human beings, you get us involved with something, and some of us are going to use it for good, and some of us are not going to be playing nicely on it. But you brought up a really good point, Cece, about the personal thing. And, we're done with our personal life is over there and our business life is over there. That we know that they're going to intermingle. And it's perfectly fine, especially if you are a small business owner, to share a bit about you and your life. People like to know who's running the show over there. What do these people like? Do my values align with their values? And it just kind of helps people to understand you a little bit more and give some insight into your personality. So yeah, talk about yourself a little bit. That's fine.
Yeah, they love it when I share things about my family, my kids. And, when I was taking care of my dad, I would post a lot of things about my dad. And when he did pass, I've got hundreds of people that responded to that, and which was very sweet. So yeah, it's all really great. So is there any one particular platform that people are really resonating to? I don't do a lot on Instagram, but I look at it and I've got a lot of followers, but I don't really I need to do more on it. But is there a particular platform that seems to be the hottest right now?
Well, I think it just really depends on your business. So it's more of, what type of business am I and where should I spend my time? And also, what are you comfortable with? If I said to you, oh, get on TikTok right away. Well, TikTok, those little videos can take a long time to put together, even though they're only 30 seconds or tiny, something really, really short. That can take a lot of time, and it may not be what makes sense for your business. So, I mean, the obvious is Facebook and Instagram are going to be great for the B2C businesses, LinkedIn for B2B, but there's always some crossover. And I like to just start with one that you're really, if you're not doing this and don't feel like you're missing, you can still do this. Choose one that feels most comfortable to you, and then you can move into what other platforms to work with. You probably heard of such a thing as a social media dashboard, where you can post once and, make your post once and send it out. And a lot of them have gotten quite a bit more sophisticated, where you make your post and then you can take that same post and say, okay, but this is how I want it to look on Instagram. This is how I want it to look on LinkedIn, and that is really helpful because each of the platforms have their own things. Instagram, as an example, you can't put a link in your post. But you can tell people to go look at your bio for links. And I think Instagram, you can put 5 links now. You used to only put 1. Now you can put 5. So you can lead people to different places, but you just need to let them know where to look to find you.
That's great advice. That's wonderful advice. Well, I know that it's shifted over the time. I think that when I first started posting, it was Facebook, right? We were all over Facebook. And then Facebook decided they didn't like me anymore. And I think it's because for some reason, I don't know, some person thinks I'm a dating site. And so when they launched their dating site, I just went down on there, and I can't seem to get them to understand I'm not a dating site. I've tried to, like sometimes you pay the little extra and you can send it out to more people and things like that. They won't even take my money now. They won't even do it. So it's
really odd. I mean, we've had this happen to other clients before. Where, and I will tell you, we do get hired to investigate such things because we've been able to help some folks out with it. But you feel like Facebook is run by bots pretty much now. We have people that we're able to talk to because of the amount of clients that we have and the amount of money that runs through us on their advertising platform. So we have actual humans that we get to talk to and go, hey, need help with this. But, we have had some clients that there was no figuring out why it is broken and how to make it any better. And even the Facebook people sometimes are going, yeah, I have no idea. I know. And, but this is the nature of that beast. It's so big. And one tiny little change that they make has got that domino effect, and they miss dominoes along the way. And we see it all the time. I mean, I many times we're working in a platform and it'll say, oh, you can do this. And then you try and you're like, yeah, no, I can't. And then you start looking it up and you see people talking on forums like, well, it says you can do that, but you can't. I tried. So yeah, you just gotta, sometimes the best advice I can give you when something is really not working is just to get up and walk away from and then try later.
Yeah.
Because sometimes things magically will fix themselves, but
yeah. Well, I can't seem to get them to understand that these are shows and we talk about dating. Some of our shows we talk about dating, but we're not an actual dating site. But they really do struggle with it. But I just move on. I just let it go because there's other social media platforms that
there you go.
And I think that that's the important thing. And that's what I wanted to try to, number one, I love the idea that you can help people if they do have a problem. So they can definitely go to you. And the other is don't get your knickers in a twist, right? Go ahead and move on to the next social media because we have to keep ourselves abreast as to what's happening. It's like, for instance, there's LinkedIn out, which is a very good, if you're a business, in a business, that's a very good platform. But then there's also have you heard of Alignable? Alignable is out there now. So there's another one. There's always, Instagram wasn't out when Facebook first started. Now we got Instagram. And so we have and then we have TikTok now. And so what will be tomorrow, who knows, And so you have to keep yourself in the wheel and you have to keep spinning because it's forever changing. Technology is really hot and it just changes. And so I love the idea, be heard in a noisy world because that's your job is to keep that going, understanding where to focus, each business probably has their own, specialty that you might want to go on a particular platform for, that kind of thing. Like when I first started with Roku, I didn't think that, Roku, I thought that's just movies, right? I'm thinking, that's movies. People aren't really going to like us, on there. But I thought, well, let's give it a whirl. And that is turned out to be extremely successful. So I'm very happy with that. But then when before COVID, we were on YouTube. YouTube was very good for us. Now our YouTubes are way down, so we're having a hard time with that because there's so many people on YouTube. So you can't let it get you down. You just have to keep evolving with it, right?
Well, yeah. And, a lot of what you're saying is each platform is a lot of work. And so that's why it's, if you're going to start a YouTube channel, then just stick with the YouTube channel for a while, because there is so much you can do within their channel. And there's so many little hints and tips and tricks that if it will really help to enhance that channel and help it to be seen. But you could spend all day on YouTube.
Right.
Just working that channel. So give yourself grace. You don't have 80 hours a day to do this, so it's really maybe choosing one platform to start with and really rock out that platform. And then you can start looking into the other platforms.
It's so true, Mich, because you've been doing this for 30 years in marketing. And I really do feel like people give up way too soon before they really get a foundation there, and then the followers, and then the engagement. It doesn't happen overnight to anybody. I mean, I always say that instant 10-year success that people think is just instant success. And it really does require commitment, consistency, and frequency to do whatever you're deciding to do. And so I appreciate you sharing. And after the break, I'd really like to talk more about your podcast as well as your TEDx in St. Louis. So
sounds great.
Yeah, we've got a lot more in store. So let's make sure that we pay our bills. We go on to some commercials, and we'll be right back. You guys are listening to Link to Expert Business Showcase. I am Cece Schatz, and I have Joanne here with me, Joanne Weiland. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm John Thomas. I want to share with you a professional products and services directory we call Going Solo Directory. And you need to check this out. If you want exposure to your business or are seeking professional product or services, this directory has it all. And that membership, for the many special features, you get the benefit of a worldwide exposure with a 40-minute video interview on an international business showcase. All this for just one low annual fee. For more information, contact GoingSoloDirectory.com.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Link to Expert Business Showcase. I am Cece Schatz, the Joanne of Relationship Building, and I have Joanne Weiland here with me. Joanne, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm the founder of Link to Expert, an interactive marketing portal where you can be seen, be heard, and be known worldwide with ease, because we have a unique database exchange program. So it gets you in front of not just your contacts, but other members' contacts. And that's the way we collaborate, because we believe collaboration should be simple, easy, fun, and prosperous. So thank you. And today we're so pleased to have Mich Hancock. I love it because she actually is one of the co-founders of and license holders of TEDx St. Louis. And I just love listening to TEDx presentations. And she actually helps you TEDxify your actual stories, your presentations. And I think that's so key, because I feel like that just takes you to above the crowd when you can say that you have a TEDx talk. And so I'd love to know how you got into all of that, because Mich, you've been doing this forever. I mean, she just recently had an event with this TEDx presentation that she had 5 different speakers, I believe it was. 600 people came to this event. This is unheard of. I mean, today everybody goes online. She got these 600 people, I call them butts in the seats. And I just want to hear more about this, because you are brilliant. And I believe your co-founder, Steve, and you do this for how many years now?
Yeah, so we've been doing this for 10 years now. And, TEDx is, so we all, TED Talks, a lot of people know TED Talks, and that stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. And when it began, it was really, if you think about your iPhone as the perfect example of technology, entertainment, and design in one beautiful little package. And so like that was becoming the thing. Like technology didn't have to be, a big metal gray box somewhere, that this convergence was happening. But now, of course, you can hear a TED Talk on just about any subject you're interested in. And, so I talk about being heard. I mean, that is like my big thing. I help you be heard on digital, have a digital presence that's being heard. I have a podcast so you get to be heard. And then the gold standard of presentations and talks really is a TED Talk. So TEDx St. Louis, what we do a bit different than other TEDx's is one, we only highlight people from our area. We want to put St. Louis on the global stage and show people that St. Louis has some really brilliant people here that are doing very important work that affect not only our community, but our nation and globally. And what we look for in a speaker is really somebody who has that big idea. So this is the idea that wakes up your brain that you may not have thought of before. A good example, because people are always like, I have an idea and I love you out there. But many times I'm thinking, well, I kind of heard this one before. Well, I kind of know about this one. This is something I've already seen. You know what I mean? So an example, like we had a speaker recently, Holly Fan, and Ted loved her talk. Like our TEDx talks are many times showing up on TED.com because we highly facilitate our speakers. They have they will work between 40 and 60 hours to craft this talk. So wow. When you see them on stage, it looks easy, but there's been so much time and energy put into an 18-minute or less talk. But Holly Fan did a talk on basically who decides what authentic food is. Because the thought was, you go to some restaurant and you say, oh, this restaurant, and yeah, there's this, it's a Peruvian restaurant. People are like, oh, is it authentic Peruvian? Well, it may not be because the chef wants to be creative. So right. But the chef's from Peru, so can that still be authentic? So it made you think differently. And that's really what we're looking for in a speaker is, we're not looking for you to be a professional speaker. I get that one. Well, I'm a professional speaker. I'd like to do a talk. I'm like, you probably do if you're a professional speaker. You probably do lots of talks. But it is not a TED or TEDx talk until I hear that big idea that is spreading, that's really different, that wakes up people's brains.
Yes.
That's very cool. Very, very cool. And also you have a terrific podcast too. So you have, it's called the Mishmash. Is that it?
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Which focuses your guests on notable, kind, and accomplishing important work in the world. And I love that.
The
Well,
movers
yeah.
and the shakers. She gets the movers and the shakers on her podcast.
Yeah, I get some really amazing people on, but it's the TEDx speakers a lot of times, but it's also just people that I meet that I think you're a very kind human being doing amazing things for you. You deserve to have a voice out there. I think sometimes we get caught up in, these people that are like really wildly successful and and sometimes it's like, hey, there's other people out there that also should be heard. And so I pay attention to all kinds of people from all different walks of life. If I feel like they've got a voice that I want other people to hear, I'm going to get them on my podcast.
Yeah, I think that's great.
How often do you air the shows?
Once a week. Yeah, once a week. So I usually record in a studio, and I usually record, and I have a lot of St. Louis. Can you tell I love St. Louis? I love it. I want to do the best for St. Louis. So yeah, we record in a studio. I usually record 2 at a time, and then we have them go out every week.
That's great. That's great. I agree with that. I think that there are a lot of wonderful individuals doing terrific work out there, and that they do need a voice. They do need to be heard and seen. So yeah, I love what you do, and I think it's terrific. Also, I want to be able to share with everyone that you will give a free consultation. All you have to do is go to your website, which is www.100, that's 100 thmm.com. So you just go to her website, you just click the button for the consultation, and then she would be more than happy to talk with you. So again, it's www.100thmm.com. And then if you want to send her an email, you just go to Mich, M-I-C-H, at 100thmm.com. So, and you can send her an email there and say, listen, I want to talk to you.
Well, yeah. And if anything, I will just give you some great information. I mean, I can look at your social media and it doesn't take me long to see some places where, you can do something better, or maybe something you haven't thought of before. So it's definitely worth a little bit of time. Plus, I love to meet new people. So come meet me.
Yeah, definitely. We would love to be able to send people to you. And, I think the social media, believe it or not, we say that it's not that difficult, but it is when you're running a business, right? And so what I've often tell individuals, do what you do best, and then let others who know, as I hear Joanne all the time say, let the experts do it, turn it over to them and let the experts do it. And social media is so, and digital marketing is so valuable right now. It's such an important aspect of your business. So, it's a great idea to turn it over to someone like you that's been doing it for years, knows what to do, knows what not to do. That's the other trick.
Well, yeah, there definitely are no-nos. Well, and I think too, it's gotten to be, there was a time where you had to have your listing in the yellow pages, right? Well, you at least have to be posting on social media, because people, if they are going to check you out and see what you're all about, they're going to look at more than just a website. They're going to look at your Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. I mean, they want to get a feel for who you really are. And if you're posting and showing off who you are, then you're doing a lot of the homework for them, because people don't like to do the homework anymore. They like to click around, look, get an idea, and like, okay, I do want to reach out to this person.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's valuable what you're saying too, is because it really, I would think, solidifies you as a business, right? That you have the social media. It's just the same thing with, like, if you don't have a website now and you have a business without a website, people wonder, okay, are you real or not? And the same thing with social media. They check that out. Employers now check you out on social media before they hire you. So, I mean, it's gone to that extent that the value of social media. So you do want to be careful with what you do display to the world about yourself and your business.
Yeah,
And
young
yeah.
people, it's a digital tattoo, man.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I know. And sometimes you want to say young and stupid, right? But then sometimes we're like old and stupid too.
Well, and sometimes we're older and going, oh, I'm so happy social media wasn't around when I was a kid.
I know, really. Yeah, you think you're very smart enough not to post that on social media, but sometimes there's those bloopers. But yeah, for sure. Well, you are a blessing. You're wonderful, and we're gonna have to probably wrap up the show. Are there any last words you'd like to share with our audience?
I mean, just thank you, ladies, for allowing me this time to talk to you and your humongous audience. And I would love to talk to both of you at some point about what you do.
Yeah,
Well, good.
absolutely.
I have an idea already. Like a lot of the things you do for people, do. That sounds so weird. But yeah, so I would love to figure out how we can collaborate. You already know we do with Kathy Davis, and you know her very well. And
Yes.
because to me, again, why not, work with other people that already have that area of expertise, and you create the stuff for them, and we would help distribute it, just as an idea.
Yeah,
That's
we
easy.
definitely have to have another meeting. I love it.
So I mean, I think really in today's world, collaboration is valuable, and what we can learn from our friends, our fellow, workers, or fellow, what do you call them? Other businesses that they even have
With
the
our
same dream.
colleagues, and to really not look at each other as competition either.
No,
I I I feel like I don't understand why people think they have competition. If you're a unique individual, you've got your own thing, and your people are going to be attracted to you. So don't get so caught up in what is the competition doing. Just show up as you and be authentic and do what you do best.
That
right.
is so true. I mean, and it shows so much. I mean, people can tell when you're not. And, why wouldn't you want to be you? Everybody else is already taken.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, like, show yourself off, man.
Yeah. Well, I always think too, like if somebody's copying something that I do, then I always say, "Hey, I'm on the right track."
Look at that.
So I know I'm going down the right lane. If somebody's trying to do what I'm doing, I'm like, yeah, hallelujah. So, but yeah, I just think that in business, there's so much out there that there's no reason that we shouldn't work together and help each other and to be able to get through. And so, yeah, I love that idea of collaboration. And I know you do that a lot with and let's put it up because you do so much. I want people to know that, but you do social media, all of that marketing, digital marketing, which is very vital right now because everything in digital format is very important. Podcast marketing, we've got a tremendous amount of podcasters out there that need some help along the way. I've been around for a long time. I don't even want to say how long because it marks my age, but I mean, there wasn't anything like that out there for me. And I'm just so thankful that there are people out there now giving tips and tricks and things like that of what to do. And I still learn. So definitely reputation management, that is vital when we're on social media and all the marketing that we do.
Yeah.
We do want to keep our reputation.
Well, I think people always think of saving time and saving money, but they don't realize they have to save their reputation too. Because once you mess up your reputation, it's really challenging to get it back. And that's why I personally think you need to collaborate with other people and work with other people because they can do it better than you can. And that's not to say that you don't do something else better than others do, but that's again, stay focused on what you do. Like one time I went to the university to learn how to create a website, and it looked like a second grader created it once I was finished. Well, how would have that looked if I would have brought Link to Expert to the world looking like a second grader created it? But I learned from it how to work with my web team to create one because then I knew about meta tags and different things. So I'm not saying don't learn about stuff, but if it's not your cup of tea, so to speak,
Well,
hire
the
somebody else that can do that, because your reputation is priceless.
huge. And sometimes there's people that try to ruin your reputation and
Yes.
intentionally, and you've not done anything to, so we had a client assisted living place. And what are you going to do if you are going to be putting your mother and or father in an assisted living place? If you see 2 point something stars, you're not even going to take a look at the place. And we helped an assisted living center that a disgruntled former employee got all the friends together and they all blasted this place. Well, by Google, that's a no-no on Google for anyone that works for a company or used to work for a company to do a review. But they didn't have a clue how to get all of these unfair reviews off of there. So we worked with Google and we were able to get their stars from 2.4 on up to 4.2 just by working with Google to get that done. So it was very unfair for this to happen to them. And it affected their business negatively.
Right. So whether you're doing it to, yourself, if you are messing up your reputation, or somebody else is doing it, that's where Mich can help you there as well as to TEDify your talk. I love that. And
every talk can be brought up to a TED-like level, right? Even if it isn't officially a TED talk, if you were going to be presenting in front of an audience and you want it to be in fact impactful and memorable, I'm good at helping you with that part. Lots of practice.
Yeah, that's great. And then also the content creation. I mean, we're always needing help with that, right? As we do things or whatever. I mean, I've never had any training or anything in anything that I've done. And so who knows, like I used a particular color. Somebody said, don't use those colors because they didn't like those colors. And it's like, well, I like those colors. I mean, I don't know what. And then later on, I read and found out those were like the really top colors to use. And I was like, what's up with this? So
no, and I mean, the fact that you're just creating content is huge, right? Because we will get people that call us like, I really got to do social media. I got to do social media. And they have a 3-page website and that's it. And they aren't creating any kind of content. I'm like, what in the world could we possibly post about? You have to create content or have us come in and help you do so.
Blogs. There's all kinds of things like blogs. There's
videos.
Repurpose. I'm a big believer in repurposing, recreate, reimage, imagine. And I know we're out of time, but ladies, it's been so wonderful. And we have a new graphic for you to show you after when we end the show. So thank you, ladies. It's been fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Again, let's just share your information. Of course, her email is mich, MICH at 100thmm.com. Her website is 100. That's 100thmm.com. So check her out. Definitely, if you're interested, she's giving a free consultation. Just go to the website, click the button, and definitely talk with her. It is great. It's great being with you here today. We are on Be Heard in the Noisy World with our wonderful guest, Mich Hancock. She's the CEO of the 100th Monkey, and it is just a joy to have you here with us today. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone, you're listening to Link to Expert Business. I am Cece Schatz, and I have my good friend Joanne here with me. So stick around, check out this promo picture so that you can definitely listen to the podcast on a repeat if you're interested. Oh, we did it. Oh,
was that?
I'm doing it wrong. Sorry, ladies.
We're trying something new.